The Budget Player Guide equips gamers with strategies to optimize spending without sacrificing experience. Minimal budget players may indulge in high-end items occasionally, while optimal budget players can frequently enhance their gameplay. This essential guide explores how to strategically allocate resources, identify value-driven purchases, and ultimately gain a competitive edge. Enjoy your gaming journey by making informed choices that elevate your in-game prowess.
Budget Player Guide (BPG) aims to help budget players who is willing to spend on the game but not able to get all items in the game. There are two types of budget players. 1. Minimal budget player. 2. Optimal budget player. Minimal budget player can get high-end item in-game like Palace 5 Hero or an artifact once in a while. Optimal budget player has higher budget than minimal budget player. Optimal budget player can get more high-end item more often. Artifact is usually the final tier price of surprise offer. In order to reach to the final price, total cost is around $220. Artifact offer allows player to get the final price of artifact with the cost of $100. So let's start with exclusive legendary artifact offer. This artifact will change red Naya stones to non-red Naya stones when there are a lot of red stones on the board when game begins. This type of artifact mainly to counter Naya stone weapon. This type artifact works in Arena, Alliance War and Summit Showdown. This artifact is powerful as it will disrupt the mana of enemy in the beginning of game. This artifact is the same type but for green stone. This is for Yellowstone. Recommendation: minimal budget player, skip optimal budget players. Good to get, 3 star. This artifact restores HP and mana every 3 turns. When +3 this artifact, you can restore 20% HP and 20% mana every 3 turns. Bear in mind this only works in Alliance War. Be careful when you are fighting against Haley +5 and Molly +5. You will die very quickly if you don't kill them quickly. If the hero unconscious, this artifact will not help to gain mana too. Recommendation rating: the more star is given, the higher the recommendation. Recommendation: minimal budget player, 5 star. Optimal budget player, 5 star. This artifact reflects skill damage on a random ally every turn. It works in Arena, Alliance War, Summit Showdown, both your attack and defense team. This artifact can become annoying when the team has the artifact left with one hero, as it will work every turn. Single target attacker will get problem with it. Recommendation: minimal budget player. Skip optimal budget player, 3 star. This artifact reduces random enemy base attack, base defense and base HP every turn. It only works in Summit Showdown. Base attack, base defense and base HP are not very significant stat. You will not notice too much difference, even get increase or reduce by 50%. Recommendation: minimal budget player, skip optimal budget player, 2 star. This artifact increase attack of all your hero based on the amount of 5-star green hero you have. Recommendation: minimal budget player, skip optimal budget player, 4 star. This artifact increase dodge of random ally 30% for 1 turn every 3 turn. It needs to be equipped in one of Alliance War defense team and only works in that team. It is good to put in dodge build team like Shadow Luca and Luna team. Recommendation: minimal budget player, skip. Optimal budget player, 3 star. This artifact can create shield to protect all ally after 5-turn battle begins. It needs to be equipped by one of defense team in Alliance War and works on that team only. It is good to put in team with a lot of shield power like Yellow team, as it will help to create even more shield. Recommendation: minimal budget player, skip. Optimal budget player, 4 star. This artifact inflicts sleep on enemy. When +3, every enemy will sleep for first 3 turns only. Enemy can still gain mana but cannot cast skill or attack when they are on sleep by this artifact. This artifact is recommended for players who are in middle level alliance like Mythic 3 and below. The 3 turns when enemy cannot cast skill is very useful, as you can get ready to gain mana and cast skill to prepare for fight. However, if you cause skill damage to enemy, they will wake up immediately. There is one artifact in game that counters sleep, which will be shown later. Recommendation: if you are in Alliance Mythic 3 and below minimal budget player, 5 star. Optimal budget player, 5 star. The artifact counters the sleep artifact can be found here. This artifact is the final reward of Sand Mausoleum. It takes a lot of Thunder Rage to unlock this level and get this artifact. At +3, remove all sleep status 100% for first 4 terms. Some of the players in top 10 global level alliance have unlocked this artifact. This artifact will convert 2 Naya stones to Lotus. When matching with the correct stone, it will give mana to 1 random ally. Recommendation: minimal budget player, skip. Optimal budget player, 3 stars. Those artifacts increase max HP and critical damage resistance for 3 turns every 3 turns. It works in Arena, Alliance War, Sky Road, Ship and Summit Showdown. It does not really make too much impact from my personal experience. Recommendation: minimal budget player, skip. Optimal budget player, 2 star. This artifact will have a chance to restore red hero HP when they get skill damage. The healing is not affected by reduced healing. It means the healing can still happen in Axefield and also not affected by Molly and Haley Realm. It needs to be equipped on a team in Alliance War and work on the team only. Recommendation: minimal budget player, skip. Optimum budget player, 4 star. If you have the red meta team. This artifact removes frozen effect by frozen artifact when ally casts skill. It works on Arena and Sky Road. Sky Road requires players to finish fight with lowest turns. This is very useful if you are trying to make a 1-turn team strategy with Serapis or Hightower. Recommendation: minimal budget player, 5 star. Optimal budget player, 5 star. This artifact removes frozen effect from frozen artifact when ally casts skill. It only works in Summit Showdown. Recommendation: minimal budget player, skip. Optimal budget player, 3 star. This artifact causes one of the enemies deal pure damage to the enemy itself and to his 2 surrounding allies when cast skill. It only lasts first 5 turns. However, the pure damage will usually be absorbed by shield and usually enemy cannot cast skill as often on first 5 turns. Recommendation: minimal budget player, skip. Optimal budget player, 2 star. This artifact deal extra damage when defense team deal skill damage on enemy. It needs to be equipped by one of the teams and work on that team only. This is good if your team can cast skill often like Alia team or shield breaker like Klimt +1. Recommendation: minimal budget player, skip. Optimal budget player, 4 star. This artifact reduces enemy shield every turn for first 5 turns in Summit Showdown only. Recommendation: minimal budget player, skip. Optimal budget player, 2 star. For the $50 artifact offer, all the artifacts are summonable artifact from Smelter. Just have patience and you will get all of them for free. Recommendation: all players should not buy this $50 artifact offer. Top 3 must have artifact for budget players. This is top 1 in my opinion. It changes your alliance war a lot and gets you more edge when fighting stronger opponent. This is number 2 must-have artifact, as it removes frozen effect on your daily arena fight, and also Sky Road that allows you to get your one-turn strategy done. The sleep artifact still very useful, especially you get it +3 despite there is another artifact counter this effect already. If you are in Mythic 1 and below Alliance, it will be very useful. If you are not fighting big spender in game, this artifact is still useful.